that, building on our knowledge of shapes a bit, and we're going to go through how we can draw this basketball. So I'm going to start by selecting the circle or the ellipse. Now, if you'll remember, this will draw an ellipse, but I want to turn it into a circle. I do that by holding the Shift key down. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. Now, at the moment, I've got the background color set to orange. That's fine. I'll leave that for now. Now, I want this nice thick black border around the edge, so I need to turn the border on by checking the box here. And I'm going to increase the size of the line around the edge. So just bring that up until I'm happy with it. There we go. Stick with that. Okay, now I want a line down the center here. So to do that, I'm going to use my pen tool. And I'm going to click slightly off of this to start with, so then I can move it into place. Now, remember, when I want to stop drawing, I press Escape. So now I can move this across. Now, if you remember about my editing the line, so if I double click on this line, it takes me into the edit mode. Before I was in the select mode. And I can plonk that there and that one there. Just take your time to get it centered up. Again, I want the weight of that. I can see I've got an extra, that's okay. Extra line coming up here. Okay, so 10-point line there. Now, I'm going to want another line like that. Now, you can see I'm sort of, it's expecting me to draw another line here, so I'm just going to press Escape and get rid of that. If I right click on this and I go to duplicate, it's a lot quicker because this application's web-based. It's a lot quicker to do that than it is to copy and paste. So again, oops. Okay, I didn't mean to do this. I could Control Z out of this, but I'm just going to show you a few things. So I can carry on drawing lines here. Now, if I come across a line like this where I've made some mistakes, I've come out of it, I want to go back. Let's say Control Z isn't an option. What I can do here is I can right click on these and just start deleting the anchor points I don't want. So you can see that even if we make a mistake, we've got plenty of time to come and correct this and patch it up later, which is one of the great advantages of drawing on a computer. So I want this horizontal line across here. Now I need two curve lines. So back to the pen tool. Now if you remember, to draw a curve line, I click. Now I click, I haven't released the mouse button yet, and I drag and I get these two handles coming out the side here. Okay, now I'm going to escape out of this. I only need 2 points on this. Now, what we're drawing here is a symmetrical shape, and one of the easiest ways to draw symmetrical shapes is to mirror them or reflect them. So I'm just going to get this where I want it. Again, bring the point size up to what I want. I'll go slightly thinner on that one, leave that at 8 points. Okay, so I'm relatively happy with it here. Remember, I'm in the select mode here, just moving it around, not the edit mode. I think I'm just going to slide this up a bit here. Okay, now, because it's just an overall shape change, that's easy. So now I'm going to right click and duplicate. I'm going to flip that horizontally. I quite like the fact that these icons just come up. You don't have to go for the sort of search bars like you do in Illustrator. Now I'm going to hold Shift down. So I'm going to do a multiple select. So by holding Shift down, I was able to select both. So click one, hold Shift, click the other one. Now, right click it and duplicate it. Now this time I'm going to flip vertical like this. The whole thing's still selected, so I can move that down to here. So I've got my basic basketball shape. Now you notice the colours are slightly different on this. So back into my main shape and the colour here. At the moment the background is just set to a solid colour. What I can do here is I'm going to go for a radial gradient. Okay. Now that's gone straight into black and white. So I'm going to click on here and you'll see this gradient tool's turned up. This is one colour which is set at white. This is the other half of the gradient which is set at black. So first thing, I'm going to reduce the size of the gradient right down. I didn't want to do that. Go back to this. So if you come out of it, the way to get into this is to click on the little icon here. Okay, so now the white one at the moment shows, you can see as I move around, that's showing, it would be wrong to say the light source, it's showing the bit that's set to white at the moment. Now for this, I'm going to have that slightly off center over there. Now by moving this out, I can sort of increase the size of this depending on how much shadow you want. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is change the two colors here. So I'm going to click on this one and select a sort of an orangey color. One of the things I don't like about this over Illustrator is I can't just have a basic color palette. There we go. I'm going to go for a darker. And then if I click on the white one here, I'm now going to go for a sort of light orange. Like so. Okay, I'm not going to spend too long getting back to the colours of the other basketball. Hopefully you get the idea from that. Now, one of the other things we can do as well now is if I do a group select like this, select the whole object, and it should select just about anything I clip. If I now right click this and group it, that now means I can ungroup it later if I want to, but I can just pick this object up and move it around like that. To give you an example, I haven't done it to this one, so I can just end up moving separate parts. So there you go, there's your next challenge. Create yourself a basketball.